Oops. Erase this. No, I got it. Nobody's on anyway. Well, you love me. It's okay. It's all right.
Indeed. Forgotten as well.
Okay. Good morning. Well, it left. Why people keep leaving and coming? Okay. Good morning. I guess two is enough. Okay, so if you, I posted the answer key on the blog this morning. So if you have a questions about any of those even problems, just let me know so we go ahead and get started. And when we're done, I'm gonna post the quiz. The bonus question I was give you, I posted it. I just have to make another one. Make some more bonus questions. So just let me know which question that you have, although you looked at the answer key, but you still have some questions about, and I can go ahead and get that done. So we finish that. Then I will post the second quiz, and we'll take the tests. So tomorrow when you come back, so you don't have to come live tomorrow because we're just gonna take the test at this time. And I'll put that on the remind and on the blog. So just let me know what question you have from the even problems. Number 10 to 16. Gotcha, man. Hey, good morning. 22. Memphis. Any other problems? Just 10 to 16? This will be a short session then. Have to enjoy my cup of joe in the morning. Actually, Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Oh, I'm staying inside. I make it at home. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and do number 10 and 16 and 22. We'll call it a wrap. All right, so remember when we do this, we always got to check to see what the answer is, the middle report that we can use for this. All right, so we'll come over here, we'll do 16 minus 2n equals 16. And so we will have, so that's a -2, and that's going to be 0. So n equals 0. All right, so we have to make sure that we do n is going to be included. So now we got to work this out as is. So we got to do 4 square root of 16, square root of 16 minus 2n. 16. All right, so now we're going to divide everything by 4. N. Oh, we got to make this equal. All right, so then that would be 4. Then we'll square root both sides. All right, and then that will give us, what did I do? For number 4. Maybe I did this wrong. So that's 16 minus 2n. So that's 2n, 0. So what did I do? Okay, so it's 16. Man, I don't know what I was thinking when I did that one. So it should be n. So if I put 0, that's 16. That's 4. So if I put 8 in here, that would be 0. Okay, so 16, 8. What was I thinking? So if I put -1 in there, that won't work. I'll put 0. If I put 9 in there, so if I put 9. Oh, I see what I did. Okay, so we need to set this equal to 0. All right, because we're trying to figure out what's going to be up here. It's going to make this 0. So that'll be a -2n is equal to a -16. And then that'll be n is equal to 8. So you got to see what's going to make this 0. So we've got to check and see what's going to make this 0, and that's going to be 8. All right, so if I go above 8, this is going to be a negative number. So I have to set this equal to 0. All right. So that means so now what I'm going to do here, all right, I'm going to start at 0. So I'm going to do my number line. And I have what? 0. I have -1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So now I know if I plug in 0 in here, that'll give me 16. So that's going to be undefined in 0. Because if I go and do 4, 16 minus 2 times 0, okay, it's less than 16. So that's going to be 4 square root of 16 is less than 16. So that's going to be 4 times 4. And 4 times 4 is not less than 16. So I know this can't be included. Now, so I have to set what's up in here to be 0. So if I do 8, so I'm going to plug in 8 here. So that's 4, 16 minus 2 times 8. Then less than 16, because that's the original problem. Okay, so that'll be 4. That's 0. It's less than 16. All right, so that means 0 is less than 16. So I can go here. Now, if I pick something in between here, let's say we picked 1. So we can do 4, 16 minus 2 times 1 is less than 16. So that's 4, 12, 16. So we know this is going to be true. So I shade in here. Now I got to plug in 9. So if I plug in 9 into this equation, that's going to give me -18, which is going to be imaginary. So all my answers have to come in between here. Got to set what's up on set what's up on here equal to 0. That's going to be 8. But since it's a negative, then so you can't use 0. So n is equal to 0. So if I plug in 0 in here, I'm gonna get square root of 16. Square root of 16 is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 is not less than 16. So it has to be open here. Then I have to again set this equal to 0. Then if I set this equal to 0, set this equal to 0. Set this equal to 8. I'm sorry. So set this equal to 8. So if I plug 8, this is 0. So 0 is less than 16. That's true. So I can shade in between here. So I got this. So I want to shade, pick a point here, pick a point here. So I picked 1. That works. Since that worked, I can shade everything inside. Then I got to check 9. But I know if I put 9 in here, that's going to be a -18. Okay. All right. All right. So we just used the previous stuff we did in the previous sections. Okay. You got to, again, set this equal to 0. So that's going to give, so I know I have to use 8. Okay. So 8 is included because 0 times 4, that's less than 16. And then I have to solve this equals 0. Solve this as you equal, solve this, I get n equals 0. So I know, but if I put 0 in here, that's not going to be true because 16 is not less than 16. So got to pick a point on the left side, right side, left side. Okay. All right, 18 is already up there, Jamar. All right. So does 10 make sense now? You got it? Make sense? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay, good. All right, so let's look at 12. Okay, right. All right, so again, you're gonna set what's up on here. You're gonna set your radical and set that equal to 0. So you got x minus 3 equals 0. So x is equal to 3. So we know that it has to be, in order for this to be real, it has to be 3 or greater. So we already know that x is greater than or equal to 3. All right. So now we're gonna solve. So we have to solve this. We got to pick some points. So we're gonna pick some points where we know this has to be at least 3. So we're gonna come here, and you want to try to make sure that these are perfect squares. So if we plug in 3 in here, so that's a -2 minus 2, the square root of 3 minus 3, which is basically going to give us, this will be 0, so this will be -2. All right, so now what can I do to make this a perfect square? So can I use 2? No. Can I use 4? So if I do 4, that's a -2, -2, so that's 4 minus 3. And so that'll be a -2 minus 2 times square root of 1, which is just going to give us -4. Okay. Then now I want to find something that's going to be a perfect square. So I know 1 is up on the radical. I need to figure out how I'm going to get 4 up on the radical. So can I use 7? What number is this one? This one is number 12. So 7 minus 3. So that's going to give us a -2 minus 2 square root of 4, which is just going to give us a -2 minus 2 times 2, which is going to give us a -6. All right, so we only need these 3 points to be fine for us to use. Okay, now, so we're going to come over here and graph it. All right, so now we got 3, -2. All right, we should know that it's going to be on the bottom because this is your reflection. All right, so now we have what? 4, -4. And we have what? 7, -6. Now, as you see, so we went from 2, 4, -6. Okay, so this is doubling. Then we had to drop this down -2. So that's why your starting point is at -2 versus your y is -2 versus being 0. And that's your graph. You have 1, 2, 3 transformations. Okay, this transformation you're going to shift 3 to the right. This transformation you're going to do a reflection about the x-axis. Okay, and then you're going to double it. And this transformation you drop it down to. And that's going to be answer for number 12. 3 transformations. All right. So y'all gonna be definitely ready for this test. The test I'm giving you tomorrow. So the people that just came in, the test, we're not gonna meet tomorrow. I'm just gonna post the test at 10. Okay, but I'll post a quiz. I'll post a quiz after we get through doing this. And I actually gave you the answers for bonus question 2 and 3. So I have to make up another one. So just give me a minute. But after we done this, I'll post it. Now, technically, you don't supposed to see your grades, but I still have to grade this material that you have. Okay, so I will email you individually and tell you about stuff you need to probably fix, so I can re-quiz on a personal level. Okay, now, so I hope that you understood number 12. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do I could go back to number 4, because number 4 shouldn't take but a minute. All right. Okay, so we're gonna solve for this one. Remember, this radical has to be isolated before you square anything. So we got to move this over first. It's got k minus 3. All right, again, now we can solve it. So we've got to subtract both sides by 3. Then now you have your radical isolated. Now you can square it. Do not square it up here. It has to be isolated first. Okay, so if we want to solve this square, so that's k minus 3 times k minus 3. So that'll be what? K squared minus 3k minus 3k plus 9. When we're distributing, okay, so then that would just give us k squared minus 6k plus 9 is equal to 2k plus 2. All right, so we got we want to keep our highest power positive. So that means we're going to move all this over. So this should be 0. This would be -2. Then this would be -2k. So we have k squared minus 8k plus 7. Now we got to factor. Remember, factor is extremely important. So we have k minus what? 7, k minus 1. All right, so we have k is equal to 7 or k is equal to 1. We will not know if these extraneous solutions until we actually go back and plug into original equation. So let's go back. We're going to plug in 1 first. So we got 1 is equal to the square root of 2 times 1 plus 2 plus 3. So we have, what's that, 4? So that's going to be 4 plus 3. So that's going to be 2 plus 3. And we know that 2 plus 3 will never give us 1. So that's your extraneous solution. Now we're going to plug in, what it told us, it was 7. So we have 2 times 7 plus 2 plus 3. And so that's going to give us what? 14. 14 plus 2 is 16. Plus 3. Square root of 16 is 4. Plus 3. That works. So this is your solution. And so 6 is basically the same way. With 6, you only have one solution. Because since we had to square this, we got 2 possible solutions. But if you do 6, is only when you work it out, you only just that it's going to be just that one solution should work. Mark Charles, we're good now? Okay, cool. All right. Thank you for your response, sir. All right. Now, all right, so let's look at number 16. Oh. All right. So 16, these step functions is getting y'all home. It's not that bad. It's really not. All right. So basically what you're doing here, since this is 1/2, okay, you can think about it. Only way you're gonna make this a whole number, you can plug and actually make what's in here an integer. It has to be it has to be in 2s, right? Because 2. So if I put 2 in here, that's gonna give me 1, right? So when I got to say to myself, what can I plug in here to make this an integer? Okay, so I have to double it in order for it to get to increase by 1. This is going to be my transformation where I have to drop down 1. So basically what you're doing here, remember, this is your floor function. Or they call it the least integer function. Everything is based on your integers. All right. So if you're doing this, so what you have to do here, okay, so instead of your x being stretched just by 1, you got to stretch it by 2 because you got to do twice the work to get to just get a whole number or an integer. Then you got to drop this down 1. So you can think about it that way. You got to work twice as hard to get the same result. So this is a 1 out here. So you're only going to go up by 1 in the y direction. All right. So, sorry, I'm on just a little silly with stuff like that. Okay, now, so we know we got to drop this down. And so since this is the least, so we have to go here, drop down, go here. Normally, we're just going to do 1 if that was just X. Remember, we got to go twice. We got to do twice the work to get to 1, since that 1/2. So we got to go out to 2, open circle. Then now, since this is just your y, so this is the y is just going to be 1 each time. So we're just going to go up here, close this. Then we got to go out. Remember, we got to go do twice the work. So it's going to be open here. And then we'll go up 1 more, close it. Got to do twice the work. Open here, and then here, it will be open here. Go twice the work in the X direction. Closed here. And that's your step function. You can just keep going if you want to. You could go down to go here, and this could be open. Then you got to do twice the work in the X direction. And that's your answer. So that's how you would do number 16. Oh, my bad. Because all your answers has to be an integer value. All your y's have to be an integer value. Okay, so we got 16 out the way. Now we have to do 18. All right. So this is 16. So this is your step function. Again, if you think about it, it's just like you're going up steps. What's the game when you go up those steps? The old game. I'm not a computer person. I think it was Mario. When you go on different levels, you go to those steps. All right. I was an odd kid. I always thought playing computer games was just a waste of time. Wish I'd have done it now. All right. So okay. So this is how you would do 16. Again, since this number is just 1, and nothing's here, that's imaginary 1. Your y is you're just going to increase by 1 each time. Since this is 1/2, you got to do twice the work. So your x value has to be twice as y. Well, normally it would just be 1. Then this is -1. So where when you start, your parent function be here, but you got to drop down. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and do 18. All right. So 18 is the absolute value function. All right. So your parent function, I wrote in the notes, your parent function is just y is equal to x. That's your parent function. That's what you normally start with. Here, we got a negative in front of the absolute value. So that means it's going to be a reflection. A reflection about, so this will be a reflection. And then this is move, you got to move it up to where it would originally be for the parent function. So you got two transformations. All right. So what you want to do is set what's inside equals 0. So that's going to be where your vertex or the very center. So since this is negative, so if you from quadratic function, I told you if this is A and A is your attitude. If you got a negative attitude, or you're smiling or you're frowning. So you've got negative attitude, you're frowning. So this is what your absolute value function should look like. All right. So what we want to do, come over here. So we know that x value of 0 is going to be in the very center. So what you can do is pick a couple of points. So that's 1, 2, 3. We'll just keep it simple. So that's -1, -2, 1, and 2. Because you only need about minimum 5 points and you're good to go. Actually, you only need 3. All right. So if I come here, so if I have a negative absolute value of -2 plus 2, so we know the absolute value of anything is positive. We got a negative here. So that's going to be negative. So that's basically going to be a -2 plus 2 equals 0. All right. Now, then I have a -1 plus 2. Absolute value of -1 is 1. We have a negative on the outside. So that's -1 plus 2. So that's going to be 1. Then if I plug in 0 here, so that's plus 2. So that's 2. And then if I plug, I got a -1. Absolute value of 1 is 1. But since it's got a negative on the outside, that's a -1 plus 2 is equal to 1. I'm going to put the parent function. So this right here, this is the data for this. And I'm going to do the absolute value, do the x and y for the absolute value. And I'm going to use those same points, -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. All right, so let's finish this out first. So that's negative absolute value 2 plus 2, but we know that's going to just be -2 plus 2, which is just going to be 0. All right, now if I was doing the parent function, this would just be 2, this would be 1, this would be 0, 1, and 2, right? But if you look at, this is your parent function. Let me get off the side. So this is your parent function. If I let x equal 0 for the parent function, it'd be 0, right? But if I let x equal 0 for this function, it's going to just be 2 because I have to go up 2. And then So if I look at -2, I have 2, right? But here, if I -2, I have 0. So it's basically you take and reflect, you dropping that, you're going up 2 and you dropping down. Okay. Where this will be going up, this is going down. So let's go ahead and graph it. So I'm gonna graph the parent function first. And so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So the parent function will look like this. All right. Now we're going to do the actual function they're asking for. So we got -2. That's going to give me 0. Then -1 will give me 1. And 0 will give me 2. Then this will give me 1. And then this will give me 0. Supposed to be a straight line. Use your imagination. Okay, now, so you can see, well, this is the parent function. So, well, this is the parent function. This is a reflection about, so this is a reflection. This is your reflection. Then you have to move it up 2. So that is for problem number, what problem is this one? This was problem number 18. Okay, I know I did a little extra, but I just wanted you to see where it was coming from and how it came about. And no matter what level of math you take after this, these your reflections and your shift up, shift down, shift to the left, shift to the right, vertical stretch, vertical shrink, horizontal stretch. It's going to be the exact same principle because we're learning the basics in here. All right, so we have 18 down. So only thing we have now left is 22. All right. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and erase this one. Finish this problem. We can call it a day. All right. Well, not for me. Okay. So number 22 is the stuff we did first 3 weeks, I think, is class. First couple of weeks. Okay, so remember you have x is equal to -5. This is going to be your solution. Now, if I wanted to find my factor, I'm simply going to say to myself, I need to set this equal to 0. So in order for me to set this equal to 0, don't I just move this over? So these are my factors. So they told my solution was what? X equals -3. So therefore, my factor is equal to plus 3 equals 0. And then if they told, when else I gave you? They told you x was equal to 0. So that's just simply x is equal to 0. Your factor. So these are your factors. All right. Then they told you that x was equal to what? Equal to 2. Therefore, your factor is -2. So all you got to do is simply just multiply them. You can multiply them in any combination you want. Okay. So actually, if you want to do this, that would just be, I'm going to do these first two. So you can do x times x minus 2. Then you take these last two and you can do x plus 3, x plus 5. Okay. And now you're going to do 2 at a time. So I do these two. And so that'll be x squared plus 8x plus 15. And then this will just simply be x squared minus 2x. Then you just multiply it out, and that's the answer. So wouldn't this just be, multiply this, that would be what, x to the 4th, multiply this, that's plus 8x to the 3rd, multiply this, that's plus what, 15x squared, multiply this, so that's minus 2x to the 3rd, multiply this, that's a minus what 16x to the 2nd, and then this is what, minus 30. So my like terms together, x to the 4th plus 6x to the 3rd minus x to the 2nd minus 30. Oh, I forgot to put the x here. So this should be x and this should be x. Any combination that you want to do it, you're gonna get the same answer. And that's it. Questions? If there's no questions, okay, so what I'm gonna do once I get off here, I'm gonna go ahead and just I'll post your quiz. So if you get it done within the next hour and a half, okay, I'll make it worth your while. What about you there, soul sister number 1? You have any questions? If you put yes on there, my feelings gonna be hurt. I just want you to know. What about you, breakfast? Good. Yeah, it's always, you always gonna send it to me email. Always. Because that way I can sit and I can just grade as if we're in the classroom. That's the best way. I ask different people how to do it, and that's the best way. Because to be honest with you, a lot of people did it with that CTLS, and they got in trouble, said they can't do it anymore. So a lot of teachers have to take it back down and do something else. So I'm glad I didn't do it. But my wife is an IT person, so she gave me the idea, and I asked some other people, and that's the best way to do it. Send it to me email. All right. What about your soul sister number 1? You have any questions? All right. So again, I'm gonna send out another quiz. All right. So and I'm gonna send it as soon as I get through doing this. Well, I got to put some. I got to change the bonus question. Okay, because I gave you the answer to the last two that I typed up last night. So I'll give me a few minutes to type that up. Okay, you better not have any questions. All right, now, okay, so I thank you all for tuning in. And like I said, I'll send those quizzes out. Oh, and tomorrow you do not have to sign in. You I'll post a test at 10. Okay. All right. 5 more questions. All right. So, all right. You too, Jamar. Okay. So, what's your 5 more questions, Mark? The rest of y'all can sign off. You too. Oh, you kidding? Okay, good. All right. That was scary, man. That was scary. That's a good one, though. All right. I'll see y'all later.